fellow knitters. Well, it is the first day of a brand new year. We have made it to January 2026. I'm feeling quite excited today. It's a cold day, but the sun is out and I can see a lot of lovely knitting projects for the year to come. So I normally do cast on a new project on the 1st of January, and this year I have gone for a top-down sweater. It is the new design by Christoffers. Now, if you've seen any of my previous videos, you'll know that I'm partway through knitting the Felix Cardigan by her, and I love it, so I'm going to show you that in a bit. But what I am going for, let's have a quick look at the picture here, is this new one, Springerle. And for me, I'm going to be wearing this in the spring because although there's a little bit of colour work on the yoke, it's mainly DK, so it won't be too thick for those days. But those days when it's a little bit cool in springtime, you don't want a jumper that's too thick, but you do want a cover up. And this is what I'm going for with this. Now, I haven't got too far obviously, but I've cast on today. You saw that in the opening clip, and I've worked on the neck band, and I've done the short row shaping, which goes across the back. And I'm about to do a few more rows now before I begin the lovely colour work. And I just love the colours, the original colours. You know, quite often I change colours, but I love these original colours. So I'm going for something very similar. I'm using Drops Charisma again because it was on sale, not gonna lie. It was really economical. So I'm going for it because I actually do like knitting with drops. I find it to be good quality. I don't exclusively knit with drops, but I do use it quite a lot. And so I already had in my stash actually quite a bit of this light pearl grey. It's got a little bit of black going through it. It's a little bit heathered, which I like, and I think that's going to make a lovely background. I've got a very dark grey, like a charcoal grey, and then instead of the red that Amy uses, I'm using like a plum colour. And again, I had that already in my stash, so I've had to buy a bit more pearl grey, but I already had the dark charcoal and I already had the plum, so I'm going to do that, and I'll be bringing you the progress on that as we get along and letting you know how I get on with it. So that's one thing on my needles. Another thing on my needles, which is new to you good selves, is I am knitting a Sophie scarf. Now I'm knitting this for my mum. I always thought, I promised her a scarf, and I did knit one with sort of little foxes on, but it was quite an itchy yarn and I knew she wouldn't get on with that, whereas this is perfect. Oh, excuse me, just dropping that all over the place. I don't know if you can see here, I've got a nice merino. This is a fingering weight and it's variegated in colours. It's all the colours she likes. It's purple, lilacs, mauves, dark pinks. So I already had that, and I already had some of this merino, and I can't remember now what it is, but it's a very smooth sport weight merino, and of course again that's in a dark lilac. So I'm holding these two together. The pattern does call for an Aran weight, so this is just slightly under that, but it'll be fine. I'll just knit for longer. This is my very first time doing a Sophie pattern. I haven't done the Sophie scarf. This is the shawl because I think it's a little bit more substantial for wearing around the neck, and my mum does like to keep the neck warm, as do I. I'm really pleased with it. It's a very simple knit, so you can just pick this up when you're travelling, if you're a passenger, waiting in the schoolyard, whatever you have to do, and just watching TV. It's really lovely. You just increase on this one edge, but the I-cord is built in. I'm probably telling you what you already know. Let's be honest, it's been around for a while. I kind of dismissed it initially as being a bit too simple. Do you know what? It's not. It's really lovely because you knit this I-cord edge in with it. I'll see if I can get you a little bit of a close-up, and it just makes it gives it a beautiful edge. And I think, yes, it is simple, but There's beauty in simplicity, isn't there? I really like this. I'm going to be doing one for myself afterwards for sure. So I haven't got to the halfway mark yet, as you can see. I'm going to make sure I do get quite a nice substantial bit here that can go around the neck, and then just start decreasing, of course. So you're increasing on this one. The pattern will tell you which row to increase on. Of course, it's paid pattern. I won't go into that. But it is nice and simple and enjoyable. And I'm just loving to see how all the colours come out. I am a bit of a colour person, as you know. Well, I'm wearing my sea glass sweater, for instance. Sea glass sweater, which took all these little lovely colours out of my stash, and I bought a couple of extra ones too because I wanted them in. And in fact, that plum there, I don't know, well, you probably can't really tell, but the plum here is what I'm going to be using in the Springerle sweater because that was left over. So, you know, I do like if I can use up my existing stash. I mean, we all like that, don't we? We do like to do that. All right, so let's move on. I've got an accessory, another accessory now for you. This is a lovely sock pattern and it's by me. And I've just released this one and it's already doing very well. It is my little hill sheep socks. So these are sheep on the hill in the snow with the flurries of snow, and it's obviously a colourwork stranded top there. So it's top down construction. You have the 2x2 rib going into your lovely little sheep colourwork, but then I've got a rib pattern, a knit 3 purl 1 rib pattern on the top. It is a traditional reinforced heel flap and gusset and down to a wedge toe. And I do like that extra detail of the ribbing. Now, I am almost finished my second one. Here's my second one. I have released the pattern because it's been tested and works very well. Now, the only thing with this pattern is it's a one size only. I could not get this lovely pattern to fit over the other stitches. So 64 stitches is the pattern. I knit on a 2.5mm needle, and that gives me the adult medium size. So I'm thinking if you wanted to go down a size, you could go to a 2.25 or a 2.0 even. You could get a small size. And if you went up to a 3mm, and sorry, I can't remember the US, I'll put the US things up here, the US equivalents, you could then get a larger size. And it's pretty tight knit, so I think it will work well on a 3mm if you want a larger size. So I'm loving those. I need to finish this so I can start wearing my socks because I do love them. They are really very nice. So yes, I've put a link in the description. I mean, in my description, I'll put a link to all of the patterns that I'm mentioning today. So if you are interested, you can go and have a look. Okay, well, moving on. The last thing I've still got on my needles is the Felix Cardigan, but I'm really pleased to show you that I've made some good progress. Now, I don't hang my knits up generally on a hanger, as you know, that pulls them out of shape, but just to show you that's why I've got it on here. So here we are. I have got a few things to still, a few ends to weave in, but that's fine. As you can see, I've completed the body. Then after the body, I went straight to the button bands. I don't like to do the sleeves before the button band and the neckband are done because that pulls the whole thing in. And it is a different sort of size, and if you do your sleeves, you can be a bit off kilter. So I blocked this just to show you actually, and to put my buttons on. And I found these lovely, gorgeous buttons, and I've got a clip of those, so I'll put it there so you can see them a bit closer. They're wooden. I got them from an Etsy seller, and it was quite nice work once I got the button band on. I got those in place, I think, very well. It's a great fit on me. I'm really happy with the fit. And I blocked this. I blocked this before I put the buttons on because I wanted everything to be in the shape and the size it was going to be before I put the buttons on. So I blocked it. But you can see there's a little bit of a change here in the sleeve. So this is where it was blocked to. And then this is where I've picked up for the first sleeve. And I don't know if you can tell, but it does look quite a lot tighter. But then I thought, would this be because of knitting in the round now? Because obviously to do the cardigan, you knit flat, you knit flat back and forth, so you're purling, and that gives you a different tension, doesn't it? So I've been told, but I hadn't come across that before. But I think, yes, it does. Now I've picked up the sleeves to knit in the round, I have got a different tension there. So I am hoping that when I block that, I might have to do a bit of vigorous blocking, that will not show so much. I mean, when you wear it, to be honest, it isn't too much of a show. But oh my God, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I would definitely knit a Felix cardigan again if I needed one. I mean, I don't tend to have the same things, but I do love it. Look, the simple eyelets, but beautiful. So I'm very pleased with that. This is going to be my focus now. I want to get that finished by the end of January, and I think I will. But that's going to be my main focus because that's been on my needles the longest. So that's what I've got. I don't think I've got any plans for anything else. I'm wanting to do a shawl, and I did pick up 52 weeks of scarves. I went to a brioche workshop actually. It was really interesting. Luckily there was a brioche workshop near me, and I thought, I've not done that before, I'll try it. I'm going to be totally honest with you, I was quite rubbish at it. I was okay with the single brioche, and we were knitting flat back and forth, and I was okay with that. But when we came to the two colour, I completely lost the plot. I really didn't know what I was doing. I would run out of bit of time at the end, but because they said to me, because you're knitting flat, it's a little bit more complicated. So I will go back to a two-colour brioche at some point, but not at the moment. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm enjoying all of my knits. But it was a good workshop. There was nothing. It wasn't about the workshop. It was about me. Excuse me. And I picked up. This is where I picked up the 52 weeks of scarves actually, which I've not had before. I picked that up from the tutor, but I also picked up some yarn that he had brought along to sell. That's one of them, balled up. I don't cake, I ball. I like to have my balls in a little basket and knit that way, and this is how it looks. So I don't know, I'm thinking shawl for me, maybe some type of shawl, maybe. Yeah, I think so. But yeah, so I was pleased with that acquisition. And that was a really interesting workshop actually, and a local group to me that I wasn't familiar with. So now I've got a nice little knitting group I can go to, and that's probably why I'm really excited about January as well. I think there's going to be a lot of great knitting for me. Okay, so that is what I have got on my needles. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to be bringing you lots of little short videos. I have made a short video on the Sophie scarf, for instance. So do have a look at the channel. Do subscribe to the channel. Give us a thumbs up, please, if you liked it. And you can go and look at these little short ones I do in between the major ones, because they'll give you a little bit more of a close-up view and tips on how to do it. But next time I see you, I'm wanting to be with the Felix. I'm wanting the Felix cardigan done. Okay. All right, guys. Well, that's it for today. I'm going to be wishing you all a very happy 2026. I'm going to be wishing you all lots of lovely knitting time. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.